Bol. Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Jai Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jai Jai
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Jai Pad Shri Pad Shri Pad Srila Shri Pad Jai Jai
Jai Jaya Shripa, 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 Shila Shri,
Jai Jai
Shripad
Gurudev Gurudev Srila Gurudev Jai Jai
Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Shila Gurudev.
Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura
Nitya Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Hari Bol.
Sai Gauranga Premanande Hari 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 Bol Bolo Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Nitai Gauranga Bhagavan Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavdatau Sankirtanaikapitarau Kamalayatakshaw Vishwambarau Dvijavarau Yugadharmapalau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavatarau Sisinitai Gaur Sundar Ki Jai. Welcome everyone to this transcendental program of studying Bhagavad Dharma or Param Dharma. Presently we are studying the Sikshastakam, 8 prayers of recited or which came forth from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The Sikshastakam is, as we have studied, divided in 3 progressive stages, just as the pure devotional service, the path of pure devotional service is stage-wise is categorized or divided into 3 stages. It's the same path. Path of pure devotional service. We should never forget this. So at any stage on this path, one is connected to the pure devotional service only, meant to cause all of us to become a pure devotee. That's the only purpose, common goal for all of us. So first 4 shlokas basically how to cause the deconditioning, sadhana bhakti. It's like a deconditioning, causing through good association and good sadhana, good directions of the scriptures and also of the great teachers or acharyas who have given us how to be situate and purify our tendency of thinking, the faculty of thinking, faculty of our speaking, a faculty of our acting through our senses. So, because our expression is through these three faculties, and so sadhana bhakti basically causes the transformation, the necessary transformation of our thought process, of our speaking, and also our actions, the way we behave, and everything. Once the sufficient deconditioning takes place, then we are taken to the real, we are introduced, we become aware, or rather, we become enlightened or awakened to the real nature of bhakti. That is called bhava bhakti. So there's a middle stage. So text number, shlok number 5 and 6, we discuss about the nature of bhava bhakti. We found that how bhava bhakti basically means a transformation of the heart. And when the heart becomes transformed to the right end, or to the absolute end, then how one thinks about the Supreme, and what nature of need one feels of the Supreme. Even in the stage of sadhana bhakti, a person feels the need of God. Every cultured or religious person, everybody seeks the Lord, even to get many things accomplished. Everybody does have faith in the mercy of the Lord, and to bring well-being and also protection and fulfillment of our this material existence, even material life. A religious, pious soul worships the Lord to get all the benefits and all the positive benedictions. That is God-fearing nature. But in sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti stage, one comes to appreciate that Lord is not to be feared, but He is to be loved. So from God-fearing stage to promoting in our consciousness to God-loving stage. So this bhava bhakti is the seed of a prema bhakti. And the seed of bhava bhakti is asakti, the deep attachment, attachment to the transcendental Lord. And the Lord manifests, as we discussed many times. The manifestation of the Lord is not limited to His name or form. There are 7 aspects. The Nam, Rupa, form, name of Krishna, form of Krishna, qualities of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna. Krishna's abode also. If one becomes interested or become attached or very finds very tremendous affinity towards the abode of the Lord, where the Lord manifested and enacted His amazing, superhuman, and most loving pastimes like Vrindavan, Navadip, etc. So that is also non-different from the Lord, because the Dham is never disconnected from the Lord. So anything which is within which is the expansion, or which is within the purview of the Swarup Shakti. Swarup Shakti literally means which is never separated from the Lord. So something which is never separated from the Lord is non-different from Him, correct? Just as my hand to be a wholesome figure, just like hand is part of me, but a hand is also me. I cannot say hand is not me. In the same way, Swarup Shakti means which is never separated. So Ladini, Sandhini, Sambit, 3 Swarup Shaktis. Anything which is expansion or manifestation of these 3 potencies, internal Swarup Shaktis, they are non-different from the Lord. Example given, suppose somebody meets Lalita Sakhi in Vrindavan, by some great fortune. Is it not meeting the divine couple themselves? If one can come as close as meeting Lalita Sakhi or Narad Muni. We heard about Narad Muni. Narad Muni is a man of God. He always meets God. Correct. So to experience that portion, or to feel about someone, to be as close to God as we can imagine. So this Bhagavad culture, this Param Dharma, the study of the process to attain the Supreme, this Krishna consciousness is very, very sublime. Mahaprabhu systematically has taken us to this Bhav Bhakti, which is the real nature of Bhakti. Until one enters this Asakti or Bhav stage, whatever Bhakti we have been performing is like a time pass Bhakti, because we want to be modified. We want to look good, feel good, appear good. That's why we do Bhakti, so that it feels good. But Bhakti is incessant. So only at the stage of Asakti, and which Asakti becomes gradually becomes intense, and it becomes Bhava. Bhava means expression of sentiments and transformation, melting of the heart, change of the heart. Now the heart, is only the sentiments, or the raga is only searching after the Supreme Krishna. Now, from here, he cannot afford to become, to go back or become entangled again. So it's a very high stage of a devotional service. We studied that initially when one finds one attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord, and then a devotee sadhak feels very, very safe. But as one gets the touch of the Lord, so the touch of the Lord is again touch of the Dham, touch of the name of Krishna, form of Krishna, anything, deity, is not limited. So when one gets, feels the actual touch of the Supreme, in the fifth sloka, actually, the devotee or Mahaprabhu in the mood of a devotee or a sadhaka is praying that he be given even an insignificant position as a dust particle under his lotus feet. But getting the touch of the lotus feet of the Lord, he cannot just settle there. He wants more participation. His ambition now goes higher in accordance to his Swarupa. Swarup means Jivere Swarupa Krishna Nityada. So he's always hankering for to be able to serve the Lord. So to be able to serve means coming in more personal dealing, correct? So that is the hankering. And but in order to attain that status of to be able to serve the Lord, it requires tremendous hankering, because this is a path of hankering. How much we value the Lord or His service, because Raganuga Bhakti, especially now, this stage where one is going to become, or one is hankering to become an eternal associate of the Lord. That's such a lofty, such a position. Now, is there anything in our capacity, in our sadhana or qualification, which can match to be able to have that status, to become an eternal associate of the Lord? No, it's not. But since Mahaprabhu has brought this message, and the scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, has opened the door for us to how to attract that special mercy of the Lord, where He agrees to make us, or He agrees to accept us, embrace us in His fold, to become an eternal associate in accordance to our sentiments, different sentiments or mellows. in relation with the Supreme. So basically, so this eagerness or utkantha, that is the way. So in Bhav Bhakti stage, Mahaprabhu expressed these sentiments that when will I find my attraction towards you in such a way? When will I have that hankering, which alone may attract your special mercy? So hankering in desperation, because Krishna loves desperation in a devotee. Our whole endeavor, if you want to say, is to somehow be able to attract the ultimate mercy of Krishna, the love of God. How to cause the bestowing of love of God upon us. So that hankering is expressed so wonderfully in the sixth sloka, which where the devotee is begging or crying out, Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gad gad ruddhaya gira pulakair nichitam vapu kada tavanam grahane bhavishyati. So this very fervent prayer, huh? Oh Lord, when will my eyes be filled with a stream of tears in anticipation to see you? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand erect in ecstasy as I chant your holy name? What an amazing, how much. So when that situation is hankered after, that fortune is hankered after, that means one wants nothing but the Lord, isn't so? So from that platform, uh, that is the way to enter the Bhav Bhakti state. Of course, when genuinely one is able to express such sentiment, that means he has attained it. But we are at the learning stage. For us, it's a theory. It's an information that a sadhaka be when it can be possible for him that he can cry out like that. But Mahaprabhu, just to be helpful to all of us, he is playing the role of a sadhaka. Sadhaka means he has yet to attain the fulfillment of his heart's innermost aspiration. And he knows that without genuine or purest, unmotivated or nishkapat, without any secondary or ulterior motive, if one can have love for that, love for the Supreme. So because this hankering is a hankering for love. Can you see that? When he's begging that when can I have such a condition of my whole existence, and my consciousness, my antakaran. How you translate antakaran in English? I don't know. Antakaran means the subtle body, inner self, comprising mind, intelligence, our ego, and the subconscious mind, the consciousness we can call. It wants to become fully engaged in that hankering. So Mahaprabhu, playing the role as a sadhaka, he is expressing prema dhana binu vyartha daridra jivan das kari vetan more deha prema dhan. That without the treasure of love for you, prema dhana bina, I am bereft of the treasure of love for you. I feel destitute, bankrupt. Without the treasure of love for you or wealth of love for you, I'm nothing. Anything of value is love for you. So I beg you that be merciful upon my destitute situation. Make me your servant. Dasakari vetan more. And if you engage me in your service, then naturally you will give me something in remuneration, some salary. Nobody does service or engagement for free, correct? So the same token, yes, sir. It's not that one does anything or surrender or sacrifice unless there's something. Has to be some motivation. Motivation has to, of course, we hear that pure devotional service should be unmotivated. Unmotivated on the material platform. Anya vilashita shunyam. But the real aspiration, real hankering to be able to serve the lotus feet of the Lord, that is not discounted or that is the only thing. So if anything which is meant to bring the joy or the satisfaction, happiness to the Lord. So when we say service, the connotation of service is to bring the joy and satisfaction, happiness to the person we want to serve. So the whole idea is the sadhaka says, Lord, since I am part and parcel of you, since I am yours, I am meant to serve you. Since I am yours, I am meant to serve you and bring joy to you. So in that relationship, however insignificant or small or incapacitated we are, we have the birthright or we have the swarupadhikar. We have the right, due right in our identity as an eternal servant of Krishna, that we can beg his help in order to perform even our duty. Like a father, everybody depends upon the father. Even to bring joy or service to the father, one depends on the father for the means through which he can do this. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Dasakari vetan more. Make me your servant. Accept me as your humble servant. And in the remuneration, give me that love. Give me that love with which I may bring some happiness and joy for you. Because Krishna is attracted, Krishna is moved by the pure love of a devotee. So even that thing which moves Krishna, we can beg from Krishna. So Krishna, then when he finds our supplication very humble and desperate, that how much we value what we want, So it is anything but cheap, na? Other things we may get through our qualifications but something which is so priceless. Priceless thing can be given only free, correct? So one who gives it, he may, of course, he will give free, but because there is no price one can pay, enough price. But before he gives, he sees whether he is the eligible candidate to receive it and value it, even if it is given free. Even the thing which is given free is not given just freely like this. It has one has to qualify. One has to qualify in one's demeanor, in one's attitude, whether even the free gift one will not misuse or will not undermine. Rather, he will. So that is the only thing. Dasakari vetana more deha premadhan. Because if I cannot get the service of you, then my life is useless. And service I cannot get without the love. So without the treasure of love of Krishna, one's life is like bankrupt, is destitute. It has no fulfillment. one cannot attain the fulfillment of one's human potential, that is to attain service of the Supreme Lord without having the essential love for Krishna. And who will bestow that love for Krishna? That's why he's begging for the love, because that love will make him attain the service of Krishna. Because without the love of Krishna, one cannot attain the service of Krishna. So if one does not have in his consciousness or in his system purest sentiment of love for Krishna, then his life is useless. There is no fulfillment in his life in real sense, because he will remain deprived of Krishna's service. And there is no person more destitute than that, who is bereft of the service of Krishna. So one who does not have love of Krishna, does not have service of Krishna, there is nothing worthwhile. There is nothing of value in his life. One who has love, he got everything, because he got the fulfillment of his constitutional adhikar, that is service of Krishna. Because by nature, we are all servants. So attaining the service of Krishna is the perfection of our human potential. So targeting Krishna is the object of our service. So then saying that, make me servant. What servant? When somebody accepts us as servant, then he gives the salary. So very smartly, Mahaprabhu is Krishna, you will give me some remuneration. Of course, everything is provided by Krishna. But in remuneration, and he's only begging what really Krishna wants to give, which Mahaprabhu has come to give. Krishna has come as Mahaprabhu to give us the love of highest level of love of God. So if a devotee sadhaka begs Krishna the very thing which he wants to give, then it's a good, there's no mismatch, correct? It's going very, very smoothly. So when it comes to getting the service of Krishna, one must not remain selfless. Oh, Krishna, I serve you, but I don't need anything for me. Then one will remain self-deprived. Selfless, what is the definition of selfless? What we identify as ourself, we identify in this world that this body or mind is ourself. But even for body and mind's nourishment, we need something. If we do anything which we don't, can we say we don't need anything for ourselves? We are totally dependent beings. So a dependent being cannot remain selfless completely. But one should not, one should desire something which will cause the ultimate fulfillment of the self. And what will be the ultimate fulfillment of self? Attaining the service of Krishna, to become enriched or endowed with the love of Krishna. Other than that, or anything which deprives us of our real fulfillment, love of God, or service of Krishna, from that aspiration, from that desire, we should become free, selfless from that. But something which is going to nourish the self or cause the perfection of its potential, in that one should not become selfless, For that is the real or the only need of the soul. We should do anything to get the service of Krishna, the perfection of our human potential. Yes? Otherwise, getting or attaining Krishna's service can one remain, can one afford, one can remain selfless? Hankering for Krishna's service, hankering for Krishna's service alone will make us transcendental. Actually, that desire will make us transcendental. If we don't have that very desire, which is the real eternal need of the self, we will remain stuck in the quagmire of these three modes of material nature. And it's even through our own endeavors, our own intelligence, we cannot come out of it. So in order to come out of this entanglement in this material realm since eternity, we have to have that desire, getting or attaining the service of Krishna, hankering for Krishna's service. So now, question is how to transpire this, how to attain that service of Krishna, how to attain the love of Krishna. That's a big question. And today in discussion, we will, from Bhagavatam point of view, we will try to address this thing, and it should become so crystal clear in our system that once we, by the mercy of the Lord and by the mercy of our acharyas and Guru Varga, if we can imbibe the message of this sixth shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sikshastakam, then we are set on the highway, highway journey, not on the slow track, but on the fast track. And we have journeyed on a slow track, since eternity. And enough is enough. It is our opportunity to come on the fast track. And the fast track we will try to appreciate it through this Sikshastakam and through message of Bhagavatam. So as if, so Mahaprabhu is directly as if praying to the Lord, and definitely Mahaprabhu is in Radha Bhava, Radharani. So he's directly, as Radharani is, who else Radharani will beg? Directly from Krishna. But for us, it is the association of the devotees, association of pure devotees, because the very definition of Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate, the pure devotional service becomes manifest, or one attains pure devotional service through the association of pure devotees. Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. This is the principle we have to keep always in mind. And whatever practices, devotional, positive, in the previous lives we have performed, they add up to our present situation. In the present life, the satsang which we avail, or we are able to avail, to cause the sprouting of pure devotional sentiments or bhav bhakti, that is the most significant thing. Because our trying to address the Supreme directly, it's a very far cry. It's a very indirect experience. Although we pray to the Lord, no doubt about it, but Lord has made this arrangement of dissemination or distribution of His mercy. He has made His devotees or His representatives, pure devotees, Vaishnavas and Sri Guru. They are the repository or depository of Krishna's mercy. So that principle we have to very much appreciate, so that we can experience directly what it would be like to address Krishna directly. Although Krishna is in his self-same form, Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Venum Kunantam. But one may wonder what it would be like to be in touch with Krishna directly. That experience, what it would be like. So that mystery, or that kutuhal, that experience is made possible by this Bhagavata Dharma, whereby one is given the opportunity to develop that affinity for the Vaishnavas in the pure devotees, because pure devotee is also no less worshipable, or rather more worshipable, or first worshipable even before Krishna, because he is the direct manifestation of Krishna. So Krishna is introduced to us in this Bhagavata culture as his pure devotee or representative. And that perception, when is developed or realized in our heart, we perceive someone's status, or that person appears as worshipable as Krishna, or as dear as Krishna. And because he's direct, so he can be called as more worshipable than Krishna, or more dear than Krishna. You see the point? That is what Srimad Bhagavatam directs us. Mad Bhakta Pujya Vedika. Now, who can be imagined, or who can be even, who can be more worshipable or more lovable than Krishna? Nobody, correct? Krishna is the supreme. But Krishna being supreme, but when he meets us, when Krishna agrees to meet us, sadhaka, then he manifests himself in our life as a spiritual master, or as a pure devotee, or the Vaishnavas. They are also his representative. And amongst the Vaishnavas, amongst the pure devotees, one person who appears or is perceived by us as the most blessed. That is the concept of Sri Guru, or Sadguru, or pure devotee who comes in our life. And in his relation, we feel that as if we are meeting God. It's a subjective experience. To that extent, when our faith or attachment or appreciation grows to that level, then we are left with no doubt that we are attain the supreme. We will attain the perfection of our human potential. Brahma Samhita also in the end says yadrishi shraddha siddhir bhavati tadrishi. So our faith is always grows in the person we come face to face, correct? Our faith in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is still indirect. The mercy and the instructions we receive in the scriptures about Krishna, still that mercy is indirect. But when the mercy manifests through the agency or through the sample of God, we have appreciated the spiritual master or the pure devotee as the non-different from Krishna, in the sense that he's the sample of God. So if you like the sample, if you fall in love with the sample, if you develop the affinity for the sample, you like the whole thing. So that's why Narottam Das Thakur says, Sri Guru Charane Rati. I say Uttama Gati. Uttama Gati means attaining to become blessed with the service of the divine couple, lotus feet in the Nikunja Mandir, in the love groves of Vrindavan. That is the ultimate Uttamagati, highest perfection of our human potential. Now, Narottam Das Thakur says, Sri Guru Charanirati, if one develops the affinity for the service of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, it connects us, it leads to attaining that supreme fortune. Because in this present body, we cannot serve Krishna. Because Krishna is supremely pure and we are anything but pure. Nonetheless, as a sadhaka, as an aspirant, we can develop that hankering. So as a sadhaka, Mahaprabhu is taking this path and teaching us how to develop that hankering to become blessed with that eligibility to attain that supreme service. So apparently here, Mahaprabhu is praying to Krishna, correct? And that's where the Mahaprabhu's position, because he's in Radha Bhav, is unique. Our and in when Krishna in the scriptures also, many places where Krishna is even great stalwart devotees also glorify Krishna as in Krishna form only. Krishna bestowed love for himself. In Vrindavan pastime, we see how many, even the trees and the animals and the charachar, moving and non-moving, all the things finding such a magnetic attraction towards Krishna. We find it. So, objectively speaking, also Krishna is glorified by the scriptures and the great stalwart devotees that Santihi avatara bahave pushkar nabhasya sarvato bhadraha Krishnaranya kova latasvapi premado bhavati. Of course, the Supreme Personality of God had many manifestations, many forms. Santihi avatara. Avatara means descending. The Supreme Lord has descended in many forms. Sarvato bhadra, they are all meant to cause our ultimate good. So ultimate good means freeing us from this entanglement of this material realm and attaining our eternal service engagement in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. So all the incarnations are very, very beneficial to all of us. But except for Krishna, who has given or bestowed love of God, love for himself, even up to the plants. Krishna, except for Krishna, Kova Latasvapi. Latasvapi, Lata means the trees, the, even up to the plants. Latasvapi Premido Bhavatu. So that way Krishna stands out, correct? The Krishna form stands out. So the scriptures also describe that Krishna bestows the love upon those. But when Krishna manifested himself and whosoever came in touch with Krishna directly, only they got. But our position is different. We are not coming in directly touch with Krishna. The person, who was most attractive for everybody who came in touch with him. Although we hear that Krishna is all attractive, the way name Krishna means all attractive, but do we find him all attractive to the extent to which those who came in touch with Krishna directly? So there is a difference, correct? For us, we can appreciate that yes, Krishna bestows love to those who come directly in touch with him. And Krishna even promises as before he manifested as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also promised to Vyasadeva, Aham eva kvachit brahman sannyasa ashram ashrita. In some kalpa I will appear as a sannyasi. And Hari Bhakti Grahayami, I will bestow Hari Bhakti even to the living entities who are engrossed in sinful activities. Can you believe this? So this Krishna again is speaking about himself, but that thing, that promise he fulfilled when to those who directly came in touch with him. But now Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are not manifest to us directly. So how we attain that service? So that is where our discussion now will grow. That how we get that mercy or love of God. That is the purpose of our life, correct? And that's why Rupa Goswami he describes the how us conditioned souls or sadhakas, once we join this path of pure devotional service at whatever stage, how this love of God is made possible. Of course, as we appreciate another Siddhanta, satsang, it is the satsang, association of a pure devotee. And association means ultimately attachment to a pure devotee. So satsang is the cause of bhakti. Bhakti means here we equate as the love of God. Okay? Satsang is the cause of bhakti. Satsang is also the effect of bhakti. Satsang is not only the cause of bhakti, but satsang itself causes satsang or bhakti. And satsang is bhakti. Can everybody write this Siddhanta? And if you can explore the deeper understanding of this statement, it would be wonderful. Satsang is the cause of bhakti. Satsang is the effect of bhakti. And satsang itself is bhakti. So the proper satsang or satsang in its ultimate sense is a pure devotional service. Satsang itself is love of Krishna. So Rupa Goswami described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Muni also describes this sloka is very critical. 3:25:20 we have quoted several times. Prasangam, sangam, again, satsanga prasanga, same thing. Sat prasangam ajaram pasham atmanah kavayo viduhu Saiva sadhushu krito moksha dwaram pavitam. Moksha dwaram pavitam means opening the door for attaining, for meeting the Supreme. That is the definition of moksha. And that is caused by satsang, prasangam, saiva sadhushu krito. So that kind of attachment, deep attachment, prasanga means prakrishta rupena. And not only just in action, but in our words, in our thought. When one finds one's affinity to a pure devotee, that itself is sufficient to attaining the Supreme, to attain, to become eligible for the ultimate service of the divine couple's lotus feet in the Nikunja Mandir in Vrindavan. So satsang, when appreciated and attained in its ultimate sense, will Rupa Goswami describes sadhana bhi niveshana. This sloka is very critical in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sadhana bhi niveshena Krishna tad bhaktayos tatha prasadena ati dhanyanam bhavo dvidah bhi ja. Adyastu praikas tatra dvitiyo virlodayo. Very interesting. He said, when the Lord was manifest directly, that whosoever came in touch, he restored love. Mahaprabhu and Krishna also. Mahaprabhu gave profusely to the even conditioned souls like anything. But after that, what happens? Sadhana bhi niveshana, only by the fervor of sadhana. Sadhana abhinivesh. Abhinivesh are two kinds for a sadhaka. Abhinivesh means avesh. Abhinivesh, avesh. Avesh means one kind of obsession. Obsession of sadhana or obsession in sadhana. Two kinds. One could be very obsessed that I do so much bhajan, I do so much chanting, I do so much. So the avesh is I-centered, me-centered, self-centered. That is one avesh. But he says sadhana me avesh. The avesh or obsession in sadhana, that one becomes so absorbed. One forgets who is doing sadhana or who is. So that when the avesh or obsession is with freedom of self-centeredness, because self-centeredness itself could be an obsession. So that is not very desirable. But becoming so absorbed in one's sadhana that one forgets, because total focus or center becomes Krishna's. So somebody asks the question, why you do chanting? So a self-centered person would say, oh, I do chanting because it feels good to me. It gives me peace of mind. All this meant to feed the self-centeredness, correct? I chant 64 rounds because I want to chant more than anyone else. Correct? I see how many times I comes. But sadhana bhi nivesh, what Rup Goswami is hinting, that you become so absorbed in the thought of Krishna that you forget yourself. It's not that you lose yourself, but you forget yourself. So when one becomes so absorbed in the Nam Rupa Gun Lila Dhama Parikar, in this absorbing the mind, Krishna becomes so attractive and so relishable. Krishna's name, form, katha, everything. Then Krishna Tad Bhakti Yosatha. Correct? So, first way of attaining love of Krishna is if one can find that kind of obsessive absorption in the sadhana of Krishna. And second is Krishna Tad Bhakti Yosatha. Prasadena, by the mercy, by the causeless mercy, or by the pure mercy. Mercy is always causeless, correct? If mercy has any cause, it cannot be called mercy. Did we know this? Mercy, if something is something we receive out of some qualification, then it cannot be called mercy. Mercy is the only thing in this world which is causeless and unqualified. Because if one gets something out of one's qualification, or then how can it be called mercy? Then the pride would be that I got it because I'm so qualified. But when something one receives, not due to one qualification, but because of causeless mercy, so either mercy of Krishna or mercy of the devotee. So now we discuss already the mercy of Krishna when Krishna is directly manifest. During the time when he's manifest as Mahaprabhu, as Krishna, then people get just by seeing Krishna, just coming in touch with Krishna, one becomes imbued with the love of Krishna. That was the effect of being able to see Krishna, or to be able to hear the flute of Krishna, or smell the fragrance from Krishna. Anything which connects us to Krishna directly is the effect of causing love for Krishna. Krishna is so cunningly attractive; it will attract everybody. But or the mercy of his devotee, the mercy of his devotee. If a pure devotee prays to Krishna to be merciful, to bestow special favor to some living entity, some conditioned soul, then Krishna, being moved by the prayer of a pure devotee, can bestow that mercy upon the conditioned soul. So Rup Goswami describes sadhana bhi niveshena Krishna tad bhaktayos tatha prasadena ati dhanyanam bhavo dvidhavi jayate. So this bhava, this loving sentiments, this bhava bhakti manifests in the heart of a soul or sadhaka, either through his obsession in one's sadhana, or by the causeless mercy of Krishna or his pure devotee. Prasadena ati dhanyanam bhavo dvidhavi jayate. In two ways one attains this bhava or the prem bhakti. Adyastu praikas tatra. Adyastu means first one. What is first one? Sadhana. So majority of the sadhakas, they have to go through. They go through this sadhana bhakti, and becoming more and more absorbed in more chanting, hearing, and absorbing more and more, making the schedule or the schedule of one's engagement in the engagement of the aspects of different limbs of pure devotional service, whereby one will be completely free from anarthas and distractions. And somehow, if one can just, just by practice, if one attains that obsessive absorption in Krishna, that is thing. But it is correct. Or second thing, if one gets a recommendation of a pure devotee, then even one maybe in a very precarious situation, very condition, or very wretched or fallen condition, Krishna can do something, Krishna can cause the purification of the devotee, and once his heart becomes purified, then in a purified heart, naturally the Hladini Shakti connects Vishuddha Sattva, the purified state in the consciousness becomes manifest, and in that stage Krishna is anyway very much inclined to bestow that love, correct? Mm. Krishna is always searching out for new pure devotees to get additional taste. Although Krishna has lot of joy, Atmaram, he is called Atmaram. He rejoices in his own self because in his self, Swarupa Ananda, Krishna experiences Ananda in his own identity. He is the supreme because he is the source of everything. Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, I am the source of everything. So Krishna is also the source of Ananda or bliss or rasa, melo for everyone. So naturally, he can just connect to his own, connect to himself, but he's always in Anandamaya Abhyasat. He's always hankering for more. So the tendency of a hankering for more bliss is original in Krishna, and that's why as sadhaka also, we don't settle once we become convergent with this path of pure devotional service and the possibility of that highest perfection of our human potential is attaining the service of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, and through Radharani, the service of the divine couple. So that process, that hankering for more until we attain the fulfillment of our heart's innermost aspiration. So naturally, so the mercy which by the prayer of Krishna, by the prayer of pure devotee, if he prays, if we have done some service to a pure devotee, and the heart of a pure devotee is so merciful, and so he prays to Krishna. Krishna, may he attain your love. May he also experience your love and attain the eternal service. May this ultimate fortune also be manifest in the life of someone, conditioned soul. So we can see that ultimately, if that happens, then one's journey becomes expedited, correct? And now, how is it possible that one finds such obsessive absorption in relishing the sadhana bhakti or sadhana? Is it possible to attain that status without becoming blessed by a pure devotee? Actually, everybody needs an ideal in front of oneself, because without seeing the ideal in front of us, we may not be so inclined to imbibe or to follow that process. So, what is the status of a pure devotee? Because Brahmani Upsamashram, because a pure devotee is completely absolved from any mundane hankering or tendency of sense gratification. And that's why, although he appears to be living in this material world, whole atmosphere, everything is plagued by the ill effect of three modes of material nature, but because of his pure absorption in Krishna and his divine service, or in his hankering to attain the service of Krishna. So, if such an ideal person we are able to perceive in our during our sadhana stage, then we can imbibe, we can rather we can say that we can what is that word? We can emulate that status, so we can find such a person as a tremendous source of inspiration. Yes, sir. So the association of a pure devotee, association of a very advanced devotees, they can pull us out of the quagmire of this entanglement of unlimited desires for sense gratification since eternity. So ultimately, that association of a pure devotee, at what level we are able to connect to him, you know, that will make the ultimate difference. So here, the hankering which which Mahaprabhu is expressing, they would be they can become our hankering, but we have to become blessed with that mercy, that kripa. So basically, the prayer itself, you know, what will cause that that condition, that situation, our hankering of that level. So our acharyas, Guru Vargas, who are the associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a parampara of crying and hankering for the ultimate fortune, you know. So this, what Mahaprabhu expressed, the same kind of expression or in desperation was imbibed or demonstrated by his followers. And on this path, especially which fulfills is the manobhishta of Mahaprabhu, what Mahaprabhu has come to give us. He has come to give us Sri Radha Dashyam, you know, ultimate evolution of a soul in accordance to his Swarupa identity, in his identity as an eternal servant of Krishna. And the highest service is made, highest service is made available to a confidential maid servant of Srimati Radharani. And Mahaprabhu has exposed that possibility for all of us, however fallen and conditioned and degraded or plagued with all the unwanted or negative sanskaras, these vasanas, these our desires, which are totally unconducive to our to the fortune of our spiritual fortune, you know, we can become free from it. So this association of pure devotees, you know, will make the, and Mahaprabhu describes with regard to Rupa Sanatana Goswami, he told Advaita Acharya, he told Advaita Acharya that please, Maya Krishna Bhakti Dehe e dohare. Maya means Vishuddha. Maya means this material entanglement. Maya means which completely frees one from this material entanglement, material hankering and vasanas. That kind of bhakti. Maya Krishna Bhakti Dehe e dohare janma janma jena are Krishna na pasare. So that birth after birth they are not able to forget Krishna. So that was the Mahaprabhu asked Advaita Acharya that you give them the Vishuddha Prem Bhakti to these two persons. The Mahaprabhu is the Bhandar, is the very embodiment of love of Krishna. But he's asking Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya is telling that I'm the Bhandari. I'm not the owner of this treasure of love of God. You are the owner. Radharani is the owner of the treasure of love of God. She is the very embodiment of love of God. And she is telling Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya is saying that I'm the Bhandari, means one who one who handles that treasure. It is not, he doesn't think that it is my right, I can just independently, without asking the owner, can bestow love of God. So he said, "Oh Lord, whosoever you want to distribute this treasure of love of God, that's up to you. Whosoever you want, I can give." All the Mahaprabhu gave him the order that that you can, you are the Bhandari. It is in your possession. So Bhandari means the caretaker of the treasure. Although it is at his disposal, but he does not distribute it. He doesn't have the right to distribute it without the sanction of the owner, correct? So Bhandari, Bhaktira Bhandari Tumi, Bine Tumi Dile, Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Bhakta, Krishna Kare Mile. And Mahaprabhu is telling, well, you are the treasure of love of Godhead is in your possession, so you can give to anybody you want to give. Correct? Then in response to this, what Advaita Acharya said? Advaita said, Prabhu Sarvadata Tumi. Only you are the giver. I'm not the giver. I'm just managing. Uh, you are the Sarvadata. Tumi agya kaile. Only if you order, only if you sanction, then I'm able to give it. Then, so if the Lord bestows that mercy, then the Bhandari is able to give. So in this way, through the agency of Bhandari. So who is the Bhandari of pure devotional service? The pure devotees. Pure devotees. And who is the purest devotee? From disposition point of view, we can say that Radharani, Radharani, who is the embodiment of that love of Krishna, and that love is distributed to those who become confidential of Srimati Radharani. And of course, as a representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we all aspire only to become confidential of Srimati Radharani. So, so our parampara, especially of pure devotees, they are the depository or the repository of love of God. And so we have access to the pure devotees. If we have the access to a pure devotee, it is our way, it is our surest and the shortest way to absolute success, that the treasure of love of God of the highest nature of Radha Dasyam, which Mahaprabhu has come to bestow upon us, so we can have the same treasure through the agency which has manifest or which has given access to all of us. So that way, the example given in the scriptures is nobody just is from the flower only a wasp. What you call in English bhaura, padma. The lotus flower or the rose flower, who has the capacity to draw the nectar out of that flower? Only the wasp, no? So, and only from that bhaura, in India, or you can see the hive, no? Beehives, bee. Bhaura means the bee. Beehives, the bees, they draw the juice or the nectar from the flowers, and they gather, they combine, and the honey is collected. So who is able to draw the honey from the flower directly? Flower or lotus is like Krishna. Who can draw directly from him? Only the bees, but so the pure devotees, they are able to draw. that honey from the lotus flower like Krishna. Whole idea is that, and but easy access. So, who has the capacity other than the bee to draw the nectar from the flower? So the position of a pure devotee is compared to that. So it shows that a pure devotee is a very rare person, isn't it? Mm. It's a very rare that. So ultimately, the arrangement is that because pure devotee is very rare, but he's the depository or repository of love of God treasure. So for us, the recommendation is rather than trying to draw the nectar directly from Krishna lotus flower, uh, if we have the easy access and the certain access to the repository or depository of love of Godhead from a pure devotee, whose heart is filled with pure love. So that's why in our life, the identifying in our faith, someone is a pure devotee. That much risk, but it's not a risk if it is a revelation in the heart. So what to attain the status of this bhav bhakti, it's very much in correlation with the development of our faith in a pure devotee. We can appreciate someone's status as a pure devotee so much so that we become so attached, in the sense that we become infected by that sentiment of love of God, which is deposited in his heart. Can we appreciate as much as we want to value Krishna? We cannot value any less to a pure devotee if our faith in him, if our attachment or attraction towards him is because he is the repository or depository of the very fortune which we are hankering after. That much appraisal in a pure devotee becomes the guarantee for us attaining the perfection of our human potential. But only through, so this rare position, how rare, that's why the concept of most blessedness comes. Amongst the great devotees, or pure devotees, the one which we identify as the purest devotee who came in our life is that rare fortune. So if we are blessed by the most blessed person, we can definitely become fully blessed. So that is the whole thing. And the sixth sloka of Sikshastakam, it can definitely become our hankering as well. If we become infected by the mercy, if we can hanker after that mercy from a pure devotee, we are guaranteed to attain the same fervor as Mahaprabhu is expressing. So there are a couple of bhajans in this regard. Anybody can recall one bhajan? There is one bhajan. Ohe Vaishnava Thakura, Dayarat Sagara Edase Karuna Kari. And Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Kuroi Dase Pekha. So these two bhajans which are connecting or expressing the fortune or the most blessed fortune of the spiritual master or a pure Vaishnava, pure devotee, in order to attract that devotional fervor. Because our appreciation of a purest devotee, that he has what we must hanker after, So and he's a direct access. So he's our direct or the pratyaksha access to Krishna. That kind of appreciation for a pure devotee will definitely make us also cry out just like Mahaprabhu. Nayanam galadashru dharaya. Nayanam galadashru dharaya vadanam gad gad ruddhaya gira. Pulakai nichitam vapu kada tava naam grahani bhavishya. So the question, final question which I can ask all of us, so who bestows love? Who bestows love of God? You know, ultimately we can say Krishna, correct? Because without Krishna willing, nothing happens. But Krishna is bound by the love and the prayer of a pure devotee. So if a pure devotee recommends, because on this path of pure devotional service, any accomplishment comes through recommendation only. And we should not take this opportunity, present opportunity given to us very cheaply, or cheaply at all, because this is the point which keeps me motivated and keeps me focused. That one becomes a pure devotee is a very rare phenomenon. We take it casually. Oh, eventually I will become a pure devotee. No. If I become a pure devotee, it's a very rare phenomenon. And if I have identified someone as a pure devotee, and if I can act accordingly to become a pure devotee, it will be also a rare phenomenon. So now question to all of us, do I want to experience a rare phenomenon in my lifetime? Do I want to experience myself becoming a rare phenomenon? Something which will be most intriguing and most fascinating and most overwhelming experience for oneself. Yes, given the situation of this material world, the influence of the three modes of material nature, the conditioned fallen soul, like myself becoming a pure devotee, it's a very rare phenomenon. But Mahaprabhu's mercy connection can even make that rare phenomenon a true reality, quite possible reality. And that is the special superlative advantage we all have, having been connected to Mahaprabhu's parampara. So much treasure and message in Srimad Bhagavatam is spread all over Srimad Bhagavatam, but with time we can stop here and invite some discussion, questions, and observations on the part of others. Hare Krishna. Actually, it can go very long, but I just somehow curtailed it very fast by your good wishes, I think. So let us open the forum for some discussion if anybody has something to say or share. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru, Pranam Shri Guru. Fascinating satsang, Shri Guru. And is this real humility, Shri Guru, spotting and appraising and being in love with coming across a devotee and understanding a pure devotee of the Lord, Shri Guru, throughout. Shri Guru, one question what are the symptoms? How can one actually in our sadhana system, how can we understand and say and spot, okay, he or she here is a pure devotee of the Lord?
Yeah, that's why it's not an. Of course, objectively there are certain things given, but because it's not limited to one person, and that's why Krishna makes the arrangement individually for different sadhakas. It has to be a subjective experience. That's why the direction is one should pray fervently to Krishna to connect one to a pure devotee, and that will be revealed in the heart. Without the heart's inclusion, without the heart's affirmation, it would be difficult to come to the point of a total surrender or unconditional surrender. It's like when you have given your heart to someone, you put more faith in that you are ready to go to any distance. So what to speak about surrendering to a pure devotee without the affirmation, confirmation of the heart, because that confirmation will be provided by Krishna somehow or other. So one should wait until that confirmation is revealed in the heart. All right. Of course, in general, we try to follow the association in the direction of advanced devotees. But among advanced devotees, among all the great devotees, the purest devotees who is perceived by us, that matters. Because surrender or subservient, we can become only to one. We cannot become self-served. We cannot follow more than one completely, and unconditionally. So unconditional surrender is only possible to the person who is perceived as the most blessed. That's the point. And this concept of most blessed, it's a very subjective thing. It's like when a person falls in love with someone, that person appears as the most beautiful. Isn't so? It may not be the experience for the others. For others, it may be someone else. So this pure devotee concept is not limited to one person. It's very subjective. It could be a different person for different people. All right, but one has to pray to Krishna, and Krishna does the trick. Krishna does that trick. So if our prayer is very fervent and very loyal and very really to attain the shelter of a pure devotee, then definitely Krishna will help us out. If somebody is hankering to attain the shelter of a pure devotee, Krishna would be most eager to provide that help. He is all capable, correct? We should have that much faith in Krishna. Yes. Since eternity we have been begging Krishna for the wrong things, correct? Still like a naughty child, Krishna as a father keeps providing even the wrong things, don't you think? Like toys get broken. Oh, why Krishna is not intelligent? Why he is giving the toys which will be broken anyway? But the child doesn't understand that the toys will be broken. Only when he grows up and he can come to his senses, oh, toys are meant to be broken. So why to hanker for toys in the first place? But the child is still child, nah? So when he grows up, then he can appreciate, oh, uh, if father didn't give me the toy, making me a big lecture, oh, toys are going to be broken. Why are you so attached to the toys? But then I will become so rebellious to the father. I want a toy. I don't want a real thing if you think something else is real. So for a child, toy is a real thing, correct? And so in spite of knowing that toy is meant to be broken, or it will be broken, still he's provided, he's given that. So that he can feel father's love that because I insisted, he gave me the toy, but later on, now he can hanker for the real thing, eternal thing. So the whole idea is one has to pray to Krishna until he is revealed in his heart, who is a pure devotee, who he can surrender. That should be only prayer to Krishna. And once one is able to identify such a pure devotee, then under his direction and subservience, he can go all the way up to Krishna. So the graduation of a sadhaka before he has taken shelter of a pure devotee, the graduation of his whole sadhana is to attain the shelter of a pure devotee. And after attaining the shelter of a pure devotee, under his direction, attaining the Supreme. So attaining the Supreme, the process is twofold. One is before one surrenders to the lotus feet of a pure devotee, and after that. So whichever stage one might be, one should go step by step. Once the whole bhajan of a sadhaka who has not yet taken shelter of a pure devotee, his bhajan should be targeting to attain the shelter of a pure devotee. All right?
Beautiful, Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Guru, one more question. You mentioned the satsang that Antaranga Shakti, spiritual Shakti, is Krishna's not at all separated Shakti. It is there throughout and throughout since eternity. So, Shri Guru, those in Divya Dham serving the Yugal Sarkar in whatever capacity, or once one attains a jiva from this realm, attains the absolute realm, then he also falls in within the Swarup Shakti of Krishna.
Comes under the protection of Swarup. So in that realm, everything is one is involved eternally with the Swarup Shakti now.
Yeah.
Because of his that eternal association, now onward, he is eternally there. Because that's an eternal realm. Is there anybody there who has not been there eternally? Since eternity. There is no dropout from there. Because it is eternal realm. So this is also eternal realm. The realm which we have been stuck here since eternity. But we don't have to go for eternity. So there's a demarcation. Although this realm is also eternal, it is also serving a purpose for Krishna to demonstrate his pastimes, to attract our attention towards. So our entanglement in this realm since eternity, Nitya Baddha since eternity, but we don't have to remain for eternity. Nitya Baddha, somebody asked me a question in America. He said, oh, so if we are Nitya Baddha, then what are we doing here? Then we told, yeah, Nitya Baddha since eternity, but you don't have to continue for eternity. So that opportunity is given to break away. So that's the point. All right?
Beautiful, Shri Guru. All your satsang, your responses, and this purity in Krishna consciousness, just listening from you makes the heart blossom, Shri Guru, makes the heart pumps, makes it want to dance and dance, Shri Guru. Koti Koti Pranam, Shri Guru. Ultimate causeless mercy of yours, Shri Guru.
नैवोपयन्ति अपचितिं कवयस्तवेशे ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं रिद्धमुदः स्मरन्तः Yontar bahi stanu bhritam ashubham vidhunvan acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti. How much gratitude, one is capable to express to the to the mercy which is exposed to us and involved us and caused our participation to attain the perfection of our human potential. How much gratitude we should be able to, or we can express to the favor bestowed upon us by the causeless mercy of Krishna through the spiritual master or the pure devotee. Because we see face to face only the person, and that person matters. So, agency through which the mercy flows is non-different, or rather more important than the source of all mercy. Because if the original source of mercy, if is not connected, if we do not have the capacity to connect to that source, if we are not the bees to directly be able to take the nectar from the flower, we have to find a bee like, if we can identify a bee like devotee, that is more feasible, pragmatic, and possible. Probability is greater, na? Rather than so ours is a path of accepting subservience, and we have to identify the mercy manifest within our access. So pure devotees in our access, the Supreme Lord beyond our access. So choice is ours. Would you rather go for the original source who is out of our access, or the outlet of that mercy source who is within our access? So choice is very clear. That will determine who is truly intelligent. Intelligent means given the multiple options, he is able to pick the best option to accomplish his purpose. Na? Buddhiman, intelligent means what? That one who is able to utilize the options and the means available to one to the ultimate benefit to oneself. Isn't so? So that's why one is to see the how our potential can be fully utilized or materialized to perfection, to the highest perfection, rather than running here and there in the name of intelligence, that I will just bypass everyone, I will just go directly to God. So God has come down to me. But so that is defying the arrangement made by Krishna. Krishna has made the arrangement that his mercy, he has opened the outlets of his mercy through his pure devotees, correct? And the Vaishnavas. And if we cannot value uh, those outlets as much as we must value, then we are defying Krishna's arrangement, correct? So that is connecting to Krishna in the real sense, rather than I will meet only Krishna, I will just address only Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Keep waiting. So Krishna coming down to our level through the spiritual master, the pure Vaishnavas. And if we cannot value them, Krishna will not be impressed. If you cannot value my representative, how So first mistake, Krishna checks out. He will check us out how much we will value his representative. If we pass his test, then Krishna is fully assured, yes, he can value my person, then he will value me also. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All right. Anyone else? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna. Welcome.
इंग्लिश में जरूरी तो नहीं ना?
Jaruri hai bhi, nahi bhi, but you can translate later if you feel comfortable in expressing Hindi. You will deprive at least someone, but
मैं बाद में इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट करके लिख दूंगी.
that you have to also speak in English. What you just said.
इंग्लिश नहीं आती.
So you have to speak in English. If you say that you will translate it later. So she wants to express something, she feels comfortable expressing in Hindi, then she will try to translate it. Okay.
बहुत ही अद्भुत सत्संग. वैसे तो जो लिखा है एकदम पजल्ड वे में लिखा है, इसलिए समझ भी नहीं आ रहा शुरू कहाँ से करूं. नयनम गलत अश्रुधारया वदनम गदगद रुद्धया गिरा पुलकेर निचितम वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति. श्री गुरु जो स्वामिनी के रूप में, स्वामिनी ही श्री गुरु रूप में आई है. स्वामिनी की मंजरी बनने में ही अल्टीमेट कंप्लीट फुलफिलमेंट है. संसार का हर अभाव का फुलफिलमेंट एक ही जगह पे श्री गुरु रूप स्वामिनी का हो जाना is not different from स्वामिनी का हो जाना. SG is complete package. ये एहसास रियलाइजेशन होने पर सहज ही न धनम न जनम न सुंदरम कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद भक्ति अहेतुकी त्वहि. I am bereft of the treasure of love for you. I am nothing, so I beg, be merciful upon my destitute condition. Kindly make me your humble maidservant. All I want is unmotivated devotional service to you. Since I am meant to serve you and bring joy to you. I have due right and I depend on you. Give me that love by which I may bring joy to you. I beg you. Since this is something unqualified and priceless, if I cannot get service of you and treasure of love for you, what is the use of my living? Satsang is the cause of bhakti. Satsang itself is bhakti. Satsang is the effect of bhakti. Satsang itself is love of Krishna. Prasangam ajaram pasham atmana kavayo vidu sa eva sadhu sukrito मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम्. Satsang, when appreciated in its ultimate sense, becomes not merely association, but awakening of the soul in its eternal relationship with the divine, and every moment turns into loving, conscious union with Sri Guru Rupa Swami. I pray I become greatly humble and grateful maidservant of yours. अनुगत्य भाव पर जो आपकी कृपा से समझा, अब मेरे शब्द तो किंडरगार्टन के बच्चों जैसे हैं, पर आप भाव समझ ही जाओगे. बस उसको अप्रिशिएट करने का एक छोटा सा प्रयास. अनुगत्य भाव में सेवा साधना करते हैं, ना कि डायरेक्ट भगवान की सेवा करें. जैसे कि आपने बताया कि कंपैरेटिव की भावना से ज्यादा नॉलेज गेन करने की स्पृहा रखकर जिनके अनुगत्य में है, उनसे भी आगे निकलने का प्रयास करते हैं. अहंकार आ जाता है कि हम ज्यादा जानते हैं. यही तो पतन का मार्ग है. खुद की बुद्धि का विश्लेषण करते हैं, श्री गुरु की शरण ग्रहण कर ली, फिर भी पूरी तरह से शरणागत नहीं हो पाते. अब खुद के लिए थोड़ी जीना है. फिर भी संसार में देखने मिलता है, हाँ हो गई दीक्षा, लेकिन पूर्ण न्यौछावर नहीं रहता. हमें भी फ्री टाइम चाहिए, ऐसा सोचते हैं. हम भी अपनी मन मर्जी करेंगे, सोचते हैं. खुद से कुछ भी पढ़ेंगे, ज्ञान अर्जित करेंगे, पीएचडी कर लेंगे, और जिनके अनुगत्य में है उनसे आगे निकल जाएंगे. फिर उसके अनुगत्य में जो आता है वो भी यही सब सीखता है. श्री गुरु की अहमियता समझना भी कितना दुर्लभ है. हमने पीएचडी कर ली, हमने वो जान लिया जो उनको नहीं पता. आगे जा ही नहीं सकते उनसे कभी, क्योंकि वो तो साक्षात हरित्वेन समस्त शास्त्र. श्री गुरु ने कहा ये पढ़ो, तो यही पढ़ना है. इतना पढ़ना है तो इतना ही पढ़ना है. श्री गुरु किन्हीं को तो बहुत बहुत ज्ञान अर्जित करते देखा है, पर मेरे श्री गुरु ज्ञान से ज्यादा प्रैक्टिकल एहसास कराते हैं, और वही लक्ष्य है. हर जन्म में खुद की बुद्धि का विश्लेषण किया, इसीलिए तो आज तक यही भटक रहे हैं. What it would be like with स्वामिनी, वो आपके साथ एहसास कर पाते हैं और हमेशा करेंगे. जैसा आप कहते हो, कृष्ण कहते हैं मद भक्ता पूज्याधिका, भगवान से भी पूज्य उनके भक्त. तो भगवान से पूज्य, अधिक पूज्य स्वामिनी. तो श्री गुरु इज परसीव्ड एज स्वामिनी, श्री गुरु रूप स्वामिनी. और श्री गुरु ही मोस्ट ब्लेसेड बनकर हमारे जीवन में आए हैं. उनसे आगे नहीं निकलना कभी, और उन्हीं की कृपा से फुली ब्लेस्ड बनना है. आसक्ति इज रेयरली अचीव्ड, और श्री गुरु ही हमारी श्री रूप मंजरी, हमारे महाप्रभु, हमारे राधे श्याम, सब कुछ वही है. तो उनको छोड़कर डायरेक्टली महाप्रभु को जानने का प्रयास करना, डायरेक्टली स्वामी जी की सेवा करने का प्रयास करना, वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रीति तो प्रत्यक्ष में होती है ना, परोक्ष में नहीं। और श्री गुरु चरणे रति यही से उत्तम गति। कभी किसी ने ये तो नहीं कहा प्रभुपाद चरणे रति, महाप्रभु चरणे रति, श्री रूप मंजरी चरणे रति। तो रति तो श्री गुरु में ही होगी, तभी तो उत्तम गति प्राप्त होगी। और जैसे आपने बताया था कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं अपने एक शिष्य से कि ग्रैंडफादर बहुत मर्सीफुल है, बट ही इज नॉट, बट फादर इज नॉट लेस मर्सीफुल। तो आप ही सब कुछ हो। और जो मोस्ट ब्लेसेड आप परसीव हुए हम सबको, आपको छोड़कर कहीं और सुनने सुनने की भी इच्छा कैसे हो भला। धन मोर श्री गुरु पति मोर श्री गुरु, प्राण मोर श्री गुरु रूप स्वामी ने। श्री गुरु मोर बल, श्री गुरु मोर कुल, श्री गुरु बिलसाई मोरा। श्री गुरुर पद धूलि ताहे मोर स्नान केली, तर्पण मोर श्री गुरुर नाम। विचार कोरिया मन भक्ति रस आस्वादन, मध्यस्थ श्री भागवत पुराण। श्री गुरुर उच्छिष्ट ताहे मोर मन निष्ठ, श्री गुरुर नामेते उल्लास। वृंदावने चबूतारा ताहे मोरा मन घेरा, कहे दीन प्रेमांजना दासी। कहे दीन प्रेमांजना दासी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कहना तो बहुत कुछ था, पर संकोच के कारण आधा अधूरा ही कह पाई, और वो भी सही से नहीं कह पाई। हरे कृष्णा। प्रणाम श्री गुरु।
All right, even in subjective realization, there could be a lot of variegatedness. Correct? But we can gain the inspiration from anyone's absolute perception, you know. And it is self-evident when the absolute appreciation is gained. it doesn't require any other evidence, correct? When something is revealed to oneself, we don't hanker whether it is right or wrong, correct? Because revelation is very powerful. So one who has experienced that revelation, of course subjectively, then one can also appreciate the subjective revelation of others also. Correct? Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. All right then. Akhil Rasamit.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru.
Can you
Can
speak
I?
loudly?
Okay, Shri Guru.
And you can also appear, you can also manifest in vision if you wish.
Currently, there was no light, Shri Guru, so
Okay. So
Hare.
try to put little voice.
Okay, Shri Guru.
Is he audible for everyone? Okay.
Shri Guru, can I talk in Hindi or English? हम अपने
English everybody will understand. Hindi less, but whichever you feel comfortable.
okay, Shri Guru, I say in English. Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Dandavat Pranam at your lotus. Shri Guru, I feel have nothing to say because all the Sakhis have already expressed what was in my heart as well. But Setal, today, while hearing Shastakam or your warning, my heart could not hold itself. It felt like something inside was melting, something I cannot express in word. I feel I have no qualification to understand such a deep bhav. Yet, but your mercy and something is awaking within me. Sometimes there is a peace, and sometimes tears just come without any reason. There is so much in my heart to say, but when I try to speak, my voice is stopped, my thoughts is choking, and only tears come. What feel like too small for what I am feeling. I am very grateful that I can hear your warning, and my only prayer is that I always remain connected to it, and slowly by your mercy, my heart becomes soft. And I was also really sorry, Shiguru. I was late today, and I missed some part of the Sistashkam. Please forgive me. But whenever I hear you, and I just um, only my mind in one song of भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर जी का सॉन्ग आता है मेरे माइंड में, जो मतलब बस 2 लाइन ही मेरे लिए बस मेरे माइंड में आती रहती है. इट्स लाइक इन Sanagati book, section of Atmanivedam song 8. आत्मनिवेदन तू आपते कोरे होइले परम सुखे. I am not able to sing that song, Guru. I am forgive me for that. हरे कृष्णा श्री गुरु. बस
Yeah.
मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूँ. हरे कृष्णा. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
आपके चरणों में
Krishna.
कोटि कोटि प्रणाम.
All these revelations which we hear in the songs of Acharya, they are all revelations, correct? And so when we become blessed with some revelation, then we connect to all the songs very deeply. Until then, theoretically we have been hearing for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whichever time. But when you experience some revelation, spiritual revelation, then you can appreciate at such a deep level the revelations of others. So naturally, because revelation matters. There's the difference between Jnana and Vijnana. No? Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshami asheshita yas gyatva neha bhuyonyat gyatavyam avashishyate. Bhagavad Gita 7.2. One should study 7.2 also. Then 7.3. So on.
Shri Guru, can I say something?
Yes, only through the experience of only through the association of those devotees who have experienced revelation, we can also have some hope. And the secret of attaining the revelation. Okay, go ahead.
Shri Guru, when I come now and first time I just see you, so I just बस मेरे माइंड में बस एक ही भजन की जो चाहना है वो याद आ रही थी, बट वो बहुत कस्टमाइज वे में मुझे याद आ रही थी, तो मैं क्या उस चाहना इनको मैं गा सकता हूँ?
All right.
जन्म सफल करो, श्री गुरु दर्शन करो, भाग्य आशी एक बारो, भाग्य आशी एक बारो, भीग सिया निकला नया, करी श्री गुरु दर्शन, साध के जीवन चितर बिखार, साध के जीवन चितर बिखार. हरे कृष्णा श्री गुरु, मैं नहीं पता चल रहा है कि मैं और कितना गा सकता हूँ. मुझे मैं अपने आंखों और मेरे गले से कुछ भी चीजें नहीं निकल पा रही हैं, माफ
That's
करिएगा.
that's that's perfectly all right. Just feel comfortable. Hare Krishna.
हरे
Appreciate.
कृष्ण, हरे कृष्णा श्री गुरु, कोटि कोटि प्रणाम एट योर लोटस फीट.
Swamini was there. Amanda, you were there, no?
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Sri Swamini Matidastu. Welcome.
Thank you for a very beautiful class. It really touched my heart, and it feels like there's such a lot going on internally. It's hard for me to focus and have clarity exactly. There's so many questions. There's so many things that want clarity. But what I'm feeling now, if I can try and express it in an understandable way. So I've had some experiences in my life where I have felt God, and it was not something that I could explain on a logical level. I just knew it was strong and it was indisputable. And I had an experience with when I re-encountered Srila Prabhupada it felt like a remembering, and it was a similar thing. It was a feeling that I knew this person and that I'd missed him. And again, it was not on a logical level. It wasn't anything intellectual. It came it just felt like it arose in my heart. The other time I've experienced a similar feeling was when I spent some time living in a temple there were deities of Goranitai, and at some points there were classes or sharings of the different acharyas, and so I felt something like a really deep, 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 deep affection for Srila Rupa Goswami and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And I had no intellectual understanding about these personalities. I hadn't recognized even the names before. And so this felt really, how to explain? I just felt overcome with emotion, and it was something on a heart level that I wasn't able, and I'm still not able to describe intellectually. So I wonder, why am I experiencing so much what feels like grief at the moment? Because I have a feeling of so much longing to have this feeling of clarity again. And yet I don't understand why. Maybe, I mean, it's hard for me to articulate, so please excuse me if I bumble. I have certain desires, but perhaps maybe it's not clear enough. Maybe my desire isn't clear enough, and so things aren't being revealed to me. I seem to have quite a strong, at the moment anyway, quite a strong pull intellectually to understand certain things. But then there's quite a strong desire for me to feel those feelings in my heart again and know exactly how to go forward. And so what I'm noticing is there's a lot of doubt towards, I feel it towards myself. I don't trust myself. And I don't really know how to navigate this. I find that I can easily feel a little lost because I don't trust myself to take the right path forwards. But I'm really tired of this. I'm really tired of it, and it's quite heart wrenching. It's quite a heartache. If you have anything that you can share that you feel might help me, I know praying, and I know that I'm not as strong with my sadhana and my bhajan at all as I would like to be. But any guidance you can offer, Shri Guru Maharaj, I'd be very grateful.
Actually, the pure heart craves for that association, because we don't exist. We cannot exist in isolation. And isolation, feeling of isolation is the common ailment for every conditioned soul. And in the process of thinking that one can cure that ailment of feeling isolated or lonely, or makes one go for different options. And this is what we have been trying to solve, the ailment of loneliness since eternity, until we find the association of the person really worth associating with. And therefore, this fearful situation, it's like if one feels fearful that one is lonely, and on the worldly platform, on the material platform, we have experienced togetherness or association with others. But when the spiritual hankering means to be able to see the clear difference between the non-permanence of the material association of any sort. So who can provide the fulfillment of our spiritual hankering to find the permanent association? So that hankering is a very, very wonderful positive sign, because with the knowledge knowledge of the temporary nature of this world and its relations, and now the hankering to, is it possible to find the association or have the association of permanent nature? So that's why in common language, everybody is in search of God, knowingly, unknowingly. Because until one attains the supreme association of the supreme person, once this element of isolation, of feeling lonely, will never be over. And that's why those who have identified that association of the supreme alone will be the panacea to all cure, all disease. And so coming in touch with such person gives the same effect. Now at least we have the association of the person who has identified the cure. Then we will never feel alone. That's why ultimate benefit in this lifetime, or the ultimate gain in this world, possible gain, is to be able to appreciate or identify the association of a devotee who is always with Krishna. Devotee, in this context, the definition of devotee is one who has cured the ailment of loneliness for eternity. And then to identify such a person who is free from that cure of feeling isolation or ailment of loneliness, then we also become free from that ailment. And that's a direct cure, rather than going and looking for all the way up to God. Meeting or coming across a man of God, a person of God, is as good as meeting the God himself and becoming free from the fear of isolation or the ailment of loneliness. All right?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't hear you. I don't know what's happening with the audio. Can you hear me? I don't hear you at all.
We can hear you, Amanda.
Okay. I can hear you. I can't hear Shuguru Maharaj.
Hare
I
Krishna,
think
can you
some
hear?
net. Yes, Shiguru, now we can hear you now.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I know, I feel what you're saying. I know it's beauty. I know it's truth because I can feel it. So thank you. It really touches my heart.
So our path of our progressiveness is gauged along the level of faith we are able to develop, or we are able to feel, because it happens spontaneously. It is not calculative. Calculative faith goes up to the ruchi, but when it goes chitta deep, when our faith or connectivity reaches the conscious level, subconscious level, then it's a different feeling. So we have to transcend this calculative growth of faith up to the level of ruchi or taste. We can have multiple taste, we can have multiple liking, but where we settle is called attachment. We develop that unique affinity for one, and that gives us the experience or feeling of transcending the mundane experience. So that's why Bhagavatam, this sloka which I recommended for you, so the 3:25:20, you should study this sloka very much. And, be open and pray to Krishna fervently, and Krishna is more than ready to help all of us. If our inquiry, if our hankering, if our search is for the real thing. All right?
Yes, can I please ask you to clarify? You said 3:25:20.
Yes.
Is this another one? Before, I think you said 11:20:17. So is this another one you recommend?
I said 11:20.
17.
11, what's the chapter?
20.
Yeah, so that is also good. But today I'm saying 3:25:20. That is the one of the most important ones in Srimad Bhagavatam. Just
Oh, thank you so much.
oh, Gopal. All right then. Everybody sufficiently happy.
Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam, Sri Guru
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj.
Sri Swamini Matirastu. I gave you 11, 17, 20.
11:20:17.
Okay, 11.
Videhamadya
Okay,
Surabham.
yes. That was last time I gave you. But
Yes,
today is 3:25:20.
thank you.
Yes, yeah. Yes. You do you acknowledge that you are very blessed?
Yes, I don't feel like I'm deserving at all, so it's difficult for me to
Whe-
acknowledge this at a
Whether
different level.
you
Yeah,
deserve or not, but one can feel very blessed, correct?
yeah, I feel very, very blessed and
But,
grateful.
but that acknowledgement comes with an obligation, correct? You
Yes.
you don't get to experience that acknowledgement. Now the obligation is that one has to go for becoming. If you
Pure devotee.
Yes, fully blessed, yes. And we are discussing the secret of becoming fully blessed.
Jai.
And then one, just as much as one acknowledges that one is very blessed, one has to identify the most blessed also now. Correct? And this most blessed is a very subjective experience. Then you can feel very much convinced that you will become fully blessed, and that will free one all the other uncertainties and anxieties. Anxieties are due to uncertainties, correct? So
Yes.
if you have become certain about that one person who you can perceive or who you will perceive as the most blessed, then you have solved the puzzle. All the missing links you have connected. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All right.
Fascinating, Shri Guru. From your powerful satsang, we do experience that satsang is bhakti, is the cause and the effect of bhakti, Shri Guru. We pray throughout to be possessed by these vibrations, pure vibrations of yours, Shri Guru.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol.
From the core of our hearts, we chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the divine pleasure of our dearest Shri Guru. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. From our hearts we call out His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai, Jai, Jai.
समावेत निताई गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल।
हरी हरी प्रणाम श्री गुरु हरे कृष्णा
Gora is the youngest participant, regular participant, whether it is English, Hindi or whichever, you know. ये संघ का ही प्रभाव है, नहीं? We are discussing satsang. So, Gorangi, you think you are very blessed? Of course, okay. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. Samavet Nitai Gaur Premanande. We will join you in Kirtan just about 1 hour. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol.
Hare Krishna.